Hello, everyone. I'm here today because of a certain someone, a certain pink battler has been annoying me as of late. Apparently, you can't AFK farm anymore, and that upsets me because look at what happens when we try to kill this base. Right? Absolutely can't kill it until we've killed at least one. And that's fine in itself. I'm sure all of you know how the casual battler works. She'll pop in and she'll be in our way the whole time. Now, this is my grinding team. Don't worry about it. I'll get into it later. However, the casual battler will not go away if you switch stage and then come back. Not even if you summon her on that stage and then go back. Then she doesn't go away. You in fact have to exit the whole game, which is really inconvenient even if you are even just trying to farm Doomspire Brig Battle or just Rocket Arena. These are decent stages for just farming. That's what I farmed back in the day before I knew how to AFK farm. And it's really annoying. So, I have concocted a little bit of a solution to this problem. I have made a macro. If you do not know what a macro is, it is essentially just a program that repeats a bunch of actions over and over. And then that's it. Then the whole program just repeats it on loop. And the only way to get rid of Casual Battler is to very simply exit the game and rejoin. This is what the macro does. So I will demonstrate that now. We will simply leave the game. And then, for starters, we are using macro recorder. Here, actually, we will quickly, in order to use it, you go to file, you go new, load file. We have my test run, which farms hard-headed. And then we have a more involved one that I made for farming galleons. This program here will just repeat a bunch of fine-tuned, I fine-tuned it. You do not have to do it. I will go into details about how to use this program as it runs. For starters, it's important for my program that you click a little bit over here on the left, because otherwise it will not work properly. Make sure to not select anything you hover over, and then just click play. Then it will just boot up Battle Bricks all on its own. On the program itself, it's showing all the actions that it's doing. Right now, it's just waiting. And it will also record if you wait. Now, it's important that you also give it time in case of lag right there. Normally, if I load in fast, it clicks the gear instantly. But since we took a... Oh no, if we load in slow, it clicks in the gear instantly. But since we loaded in fast, it waited a little bit with clicking the gear. And as you can see, it goes to chapter 2, it selects Galleons, and then it just clicks play. And then it just plays the stage. This is not the quickest it could possibly be. It's not that perfect and fine-tuned. And that's fine. There's no problem with that. This XP grind method is so much slower than the old one on hard-headed with the Kamikaze Battler. And yeah, it's a real shame, but I honestly just wanted to have a proof of concept that you can still AFK grind if you really wanted to. Now, about the macro itself, while I will share the file of this macro in a Google Drive that you can go grab for yourself, it should be noted that it will probably only work for a computer with the exact same screen size as mine. So you know, that's kind of important. So if you try to run this on your laptop with a much smaller screen, I'm not sure it will work. So that's why you're gonna have to make your own one. Thankfully, making your own one is really easy. You simply click the record button on the macro itself, and then you just play the game what you want it to do. Even if you wanted to play multiple stages or change your loadout, it will record every mouse movement, every second you wait, how long it took for your mouse movements, your keyboard, and your mouse clicks and everything. Before it was also looking around on the screen. That's what I was playing. I removed that from the script so it was easier for me to read because I fine-tuned all the numbers for the mouse to move around to save time, which is not at all needed. That was just something I did because I'm a nerd. You don't have to do that. This is the second run that we beat it now. It's gonna click replay one last time, and you just need to. Oh no. Oh, that was the third one. Oh, whoops. See, this is what I mean with it's not perfect. See, now it's malfunctioning. Now it wants to play Critical Tower Defense 2. I've never played this game. That's interesting. However, it does usually work. There are some things you have to be careful with. And once it's in a groove, a flow, then it just works flawlessly. All you need to make sure is that this, it works properly, and then it loops. You also have to enable the loop in the program. Where do you do that again? Let me see. Playback. See, I told it to repeat 5 times. You can just set this to fucking 99 or 999, sorry. And while I'm using the Roblox client, you can also use the Roblox app. However, not the app, the browser itself. We will close this. We will bring up the battle bricks here. And you can do it from here as well. My only problem with this is that if you try to leave Roblox using the menu, and then clicking leave, like my task did, it will bring up the client. And if you use Alt F4, it will sometimes bring up the client. And this is a bit of an issue because we can't train the task to, well, we can actually train the task to differentiate, but that's a lot of work that I don't want to do. However, this whole little thing, I will get a functioning clip and then put it in. But this works great. I'm going to try to run it one more time because it does work. I know it works. It's just a little finicky with getting started, and that's because I have set it to be extremely reckless. If you give it enough waiting time and enough, chill time for it to work, then it does just work, and that's no problem. Again, we just click play here, make sure the whole thing is loaded and registered, and there is absolutely nothing. For example, if you have a game highlighted like this, and then you flick over, that can mess up. Hover over and then flick around and swap to another program on your other monitor, then this can stay, and this will fuck up the task. So we make sure nothing is selected. You just do this by clicking over here on the left, and then we just go up and above. Then we select our task, drag it over, and then we just click play. Now, another thing, you don't have to stick around for this part. It does work. You can just make your own. You just have to fine comb it to work properly. It takes some time, but once it's made, it just works. But I did want to talk about how inconvenient this XP grinding stuff is. I understand that the developer wants to make money, whatever the dev's name is, Tumor? Yeah, Tumor. So, I understand that we want to make money off our game, but by making the user-friendly, by making the experience less user-friendly, it's just kind of, it's trash. It's ass. No one really likes it. And I understand that the old XP grinding method was, overpowered, because I went and checked. For 800 Robux, you could buy the amount of XP you could earn by having this thing just run overnight. And that saves you essentially $10 by doing nothing. And I understand that, would be upsetting to the developer. And this is definitely not doing him any favors. But, how do I put this? I don't want to play a cat and mouse game where he's gonna go oh, well, then I'm gonna prevent, the task from working in this way or that way. I'm gonna introduce the Tumor Battlers functions to the normal mode or the Casual Battlers Tumor version to this mode. And, instead, why don't we just sell, game passes? I understand that people don't like game passes and they're a one-time purchase, so they're not technically as profitable. Why don't we just sell things like double XP or get more bricks or buy the tumor units early, or like, I don't know, skins or something. Like, instead of having to battle with your community, because if we have to grind XP to actually play the game properly, then there is clearly a problem with the XP system. And I agree, upgrading units is really expensive with the normal amount of XP you get. Obviously, I've already upgraded most of my units, so I don't really need to grind XP anymore. But and I have leveled up like 5 different battles from level 1 to 30 in this new chapter because I needed them to beat the stages, and I've had plenty of XP to do that. So now it's just gonna loop, and it works fine. Um, and I don't really want, like, I don't want that to be the problem. I want the game to be a fun and good alternative to the battle cats, because my main issue with the battle cats is that, well, there's an energy system and getting XP is really hard for a new player. So maybe we should just do something about the XP system and then encourage players to spend their hard-earned Robux in some other way. I don't know, skins, like special units you can only buy with Robux. Would that be pay to win? Sure, but this is a single player game, so I don't see that as big of an issue. People who want to challenge themselves and then, beat it the organic way can do that just fine without being hurt. And then people who want to have an easier time and then winning the game without, concern, or without having to try as hard, can throw the developer 400 Robux for a really strong anti-zombie unit if they're really struggling with the new chapter. And I don't think that should be, like, I think that would be a decent way to do it. And then plus, if we have whales in the community who are like, I need every unit, then they'll buy it too. Like, sell some game passes that increases the amount of XP you earn. Like, sell some, I don't know, some Robux exclusive bases and cannons and characters. Like, I understand that people are like, oh, but then we're missing out on content. But I mean, if they were always designed to only be, like, I don't think that's that bad personally. I know that some people will disagree, and that's completely fine. I respect that. To me, that's not an issue. If I can beat the game with the tools that I have been given and not pay a dime, then you know what? I will beat it that way. That's just how I personally prefer it. But let's offer something to the players who are willing to spend money, like special battlers, or skins, or bases, or I don't know, something else other than having to box with a really shitty XP system for these microtransactions for a bunch of EXP. Plus, people will still buy bricks to play the gacha for the regular units. Like, I refuse to believe people don't. Like, I'm not a big gacha fan, I really don't like it, but, like, to each their own. So, like, I really, really wish there was an alternative solution. I'm gonna turn off the micro now. There's a keybind. I just press F10 to turn it off. And I really wish that was an alternative solution to the whole ordeal. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say other than you can use this program. This program here, I think, lasts a total of 3.5 minutes. And then it earns you around, what was my calculation? It was like 27. I don't remember. I'll put it in the description how much XP this earns an hour. Like, it's dramatically less than the Kamikaze Battle Strat, and I know that's really depressing because that was really broken. Like, it was. So yeah, I don't know if anyone will use this, but this is my little rebuttal against the tumor's attempt at stopping me from AFK grinding. I will do it in a less efficient way if I have to, and I will. I can fine-tune this to play an entire chapter on its own, on any difficulty I wanted to. I could make tumor mode trivial by just, fucking tassing in every little action and then give it to the community. Like, that's the wonder of TAS. Reliable results, right? So yeah, that's it. So yeah.